It was a big story today that Catherine deviated from protocol and wore crimson nail polish at the Easter service. It was a bold choice, one loaded with meaning. What Catherine understands that Meghan didn't is that in a family with 1,000 years of tradition, one bides one's time. They don't call her Wadey Katie for anything. She plays the long game. If Meghan had exercised just a little bit of patience, she would have been able to create the whole kind of role within the monarchy that she wanted. From what was reported at the time, the Queen didn't turn down Harry and Meghan's absurd working request by herself. She had advice from both Charles and William, and she used it. Both were firm no on the issue. Even Harry admits that in his loosely themed book, the Queen knew her reign was ending, and she wouldn't have gone against any decision Charles made as far as family working arrangements were concerned. William has made his opinion known. Philip was entirely too ill to participate. I'm sure he felt Charles and William would make the right decision. They are the future of the monarchy. Philip could look at both and consider them a job well done. I simply don't understand why Charles is seen as such a pushover. He has made no public acknowledgement of Harry. He has only mentioned Harry's name once since he became king, when he was referred to as TOS. Charles cut off Harry's money. Charles evicted Meghan from Frogmore. He's given in no demands from Meghan as far as the coronation is concerned. No place in the procession, no balcony, no special part in the ceremony, no part for Archie, no shout-out to Archie's birthday. As far as we know, the children haven't been invited. Charles was too busy to speak with Harry while the Egypt was in London. Where is the evidence of King Charles III's weakness? Simply an invitation to the coronation. 2,000 people have been invited. And just think, do you believe the entire family required a special invitation to attend? Sophie, Edward, Anne, and even Andrew? Maybe as keepsakes, but none have been specially invited. Their attendance is taken for granted. We know Meghan has received nothing but an email they haven't as yet produced. This makes me suspect said email was a list of conditions, and a come if you want or don't come at all, but we're done with discussions. If they had received an official invitation, they would have blown it up and flown it over California as a banner behind an airplane. The invitation would be plastered over every corner of every magazine and the tabloid journal she would purchase a slot for. Scooby-Doo would tweet 1,000 tweets. As the palace said, the entire family is invited, and Harry and Meghan will be members of the general audience. They will most likely be seated with the non-working royals, but that will be decidedly uncomfortable accommodations. No one with a working brainstem will give them the time of day. All this drama over Meghan coronation invitations and special demands is coming from Meghan only. The "you can't have it" is coming from the palace. Nothing is coming from the royal family. I know there have been reports of Harry's title being stripped and King Charles III not being in favor. It's more likely King Charles III is neutral on the subject and kicking it back to Parliament, which is wise. Let Parliament make that decision. If Charles does it, it looks like revenge against a rogue family member. If Parliament strips the titles, it looks like they are dealing with a security risk and with behavior unbecoming a peer of the realm. Nothing will happen until after the coronation. I don't see any signs Charles is a soft touch. More likely, Charles is furious over Meghan putting themselves front and center in a grand state occasion where all eyes should be on King Charles III and Camilla. Back to Kate. Actually, there is no protocol for nail polish and pantyhose and color coding. It was the Queen's preferences, to which everyone adhered out of deference. It was about submission and discipline and compliance. An uncommon level of fastidiousness sets the family apart and elevates them above the common folk. But we know Meghan doesn't believe in rank and will only submit to someone if they have or once had a daytime talk show. So why is it such a big deal that Catherine wore red nail polish? It is and it isn't. When Catherine has pushed back against what was expected, she has done so gently and in ways hidden from public view, insisting on spending Christmas at her parents' house, decorating the nursery with an achingly middle-class Peter Rabbit theme. Wearing red polish now at an official event is a public display of her power. It shows that the monarchy is evolving in a slow, seemingly insignificant way that won't scare the people, and that she is leading the charge. Oh, and it's also a tacit fuck you to Meghan for daring to suggest that she's nothing but a boring, rigid rule follower. I thought that one of the more positive results that came out of Megxit is that clearly Catherine has put her foot down about some of the sartorial rules, and that the public is totally okay with that. Does anyone remember when she ended up taking heat for this lovely dress at 2017 Ascot because, gasp, you could vaguely see the outline of her thighs? I looked it up. At noon on that day, it was about 30 degrees Celsius, or 85 Fahrenheit. Was she supposed to wear wool to stand around on display in the June sunshine? Nope, the future queen should not have visible legs above the knee. If you look at her clothing choices pre-engagement, she generally had cute, but not scandalous, above-the-knee hemlines and discreet cleavage. It was only after her engagement the coat dresses and the long dresses with higher necklines came into play. I am quite sure post-Megxit, and then all the narcissistic bullshit that followed, she and William told someone at the palace, the UK will not crumble if Catherine doesn't always resemble a World War II-era housewife, or sticks to relatively safe silhouettes for her more glamorous outings. If Meghan and Harry can throw all these bombs from California, surely Catherine can wear a fabulously bonkers gold gown with a touch of cleavage to a movie premiere and no one will mind one bit. And they didn't. So I think Catherine isn't copying Meghan, so much as she used her ignoring of all the sartorial rules to push back and start making her wardrobe a bit less dour. Even yesterday's coat dress, which she bought in 2022, so post-Megxit, has a V neckline you wouldn't have seen on her a decade ago. I mean, she has a sternum, gasps, and clutches pearls. I can see some things coming up out of a need to protect against wardrobe malfunction. Fun fact, if you visit the HMY Britannia in Edinburgh, there's actually a half wall on the bow for the family to stand and wave from. They had to install it because there was no stopping strong breezes and winds from whipping up skirts, no matter how many weights could be sewn into a hemline. But I think Catherine spent her 30s wearing clothes most likely that were not her natural choices, simply because of the rules. With the passing of the Queen, and I'm sure Charles probably appreciates Catherine more after the entry of Meghan into the fold, I'm sure some of the sartorial rules will be loosened a bit more. I'm here for it, because you know it will cause plate throwing in Montecito. What do you think about Kate's outstanding style change for Easter this year? Let us know your thoughts below in the comment section. We hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this newsletter. See you in the next videos. Goodbye.